Hi, I'm Adriana, your delicious chef. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make our famous green soup, and I'm telling you, your kids are going to love it. So let me show you the ingredients. We are going to use 3 greens. We have 2 cups of broccoli, a head of watercress, and 10 ounces of spinach. And we're also going to add a potato. You can also substitute with sweet potato if you don't want to use white potato, and an onion or a leek. And to add some flavor, we're going to add cream cheese, half a cream cheese, and 6 to 8 cups of chicken stock. So I've cut my potatoes about 1/4 inch wide, and my leek. I actually used the leek today. And if you can see here, I'm actually caramelizing the leek and the potatoes. And this is a very important step in soup making because you impart a lot more flavor when you layer your ingredients. And we're gonna saute these for about 5 to 8 minutes until you see a little brown on your pan. And then we're gonna add our chicken stock. And this one is actually my favorite. Make sure you get stock instead of chicken broth. So I'm gonna add, this is 4 cups first. There we go, so that's 4, and I'll add a couple more here. And we are gonna let this simmer for about 12 minutes until the potatoes are tender. Once you've added your stock, you're gonna let this simmer for about 8 to 15 minutes until the potatoes are fork tender. So our soup has been simmering for about 15 minutes and the potatoes are ready. So now we're gonna add our green vegetables, and we're gonna add our broccoli first. So this is 2 cups of broccoli. And we're gonna cook these not very much because we want to keep the green bright colors here. So about 5 minutes or so. So when you're making soup, it's very important that you do that first step, which is called your soup base, to saute your leeks and your potatoes. And then add your liquid, and then add your vegetables according to how long they take to cook. If you notice, I did the broccoli first, not the spinach, or any leafy green will take the least amount possible. So now our broccoli has cooked, and I'm gonna add my leafy greens. So I'm adding the spinach, and it's gonna seem like a lot, but this will wilt down. I have turned my burner to low, and because I just want to warm them through. Just stir them and push them down. If you notice, my liquid is kind of low, and when you're making a cream soup or pureeing a soup, you want to use just the liquid that you need. If you add too much, you fill it to the top, then when you're ready to puree it, if you have too much liquid, you can't take it out. Watercress. Just push it in. Just till it wilts. So I'm gonna ladle most of the solids because that's the first thing I want to puree, and leave some of the broth behind. So go ahead and puree all the vegetables, and once we have a nice creamy consistency, we're going to add our finishing ingredients, which is our cream, salt, and we're actually going to add one more thing, which is Parmigiano Reggiano. And make sure you get this kind. It really makes a big difference. Buy a big block. They're kind of expensive, but they actually last you 3 to 4 months instead of getting the Kraft kind. So I'm gonna go ahead and puree this, and we'll be right back. So I blended my soup, and I'm gonna check for consistency. And when you're making a puree soup, you want it to be pretty flowy. It is a little bit on the thick side, so I'm gonna add a little more broth. And if you can see, always leave some behind so you can adjust. You don't want it to be watery, but not too thick. Make sure you get all the rest of the ingredients there. And I don't think I'm gonna use it all. All right, that's good. So now we're going to finish our soup, and I'm gonna add 6 ounces of cream cheese and quarter to a half a cup of Parmigiano Reggiano, depending on your taste. This is more like a half a cup. So when you're blending for consistency, if you're not able to fit everything on your blender, do it in a couple batches because you'll get better results in your pureeing and then your blender doesn't overflow. So our last step is to check for seasoning, and I'm gonna go ahead and taste it. And it does need a little bit of salt, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that. Always do this before you serve your soup. Taste, taste, taste. Make sure you know how the dish is gonna taste ahead of time. And I added quite a bit of Parmesan cheese, and I did add some salt, and the stock has salt also. I added salt to the leeks and the potatoes, so I didn't need to add too much. So I'm just gonna serve our delicious soup. Look at the color on this soup. And you don't know how much my kids love this soup. And they have no idea they're eating spinach, watercress, and broccoli. My family loves rice because we're Spanish, but you can certainly use quinoa. It's great because it adds more protein to your soup. So this is how I serve it. I ladle some rice, and I do have a wonderful rice recipe in my blog, and this recipe is in my blog as well. So check it there, and then I just shave some Parmesan cheese on top, and they love it. They love how they get that green mustache, and it's so much fun. I have to make this soup at least once a week. So I hope you've enjoyed making soup with me, and let's go ahead and taste it. So good. Make it for your family. They will certainly love it. Bye. Diego! ¿Está comiendo sopa? Yummy. ¿Tú, David?
Sí.
So, David, tell me, why do you like Mama's green soup?
Because I make good food.
But why do you like the green soup?
Because it's so tasty and has arroz.
Because it's so tasty, and what else?
It has arroz.
And has arroz and rice.
Yeah.
What else do you like about the soup?
That the green part, the green bubbles.
The green bubbles,
Yeah.
and the green part. Cool. So, David, look at me, David. So, David,
What?
why do you like Mama's green soup?
Because it's so good and like the arroz and the bubbles,
And what else?
the soup.
Why do you like the soup so much?
Because you make great food.
Okay. ¿Y tú, Diego? Why do you like Mama's soup? Look at him. Look at his mouth.
He said he doesn't like it.
Hola, Diego. Sopa. So, Danny, tell me, why do you like Mommy's soup?
Because it's green, delicious, and you make it fresh. And I like it to be with arroz.
With arroz, that's rice.
We love your soup. Bye.
Bye, Diego.
Now what? Bye. No. Bloopers.
Síguela otra vez.
Hi, and welcome to Your Delicious Chef. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make our famous green soup. It's a delicious soup that has 3 greens: spinach, watercress, and broccoli. And we're going to thicken it with a potato. So let me come and join me and no, stop. Oh, I started so good.